if everyone can just give us a couple of moments of their time, we would love to introduce and welcome and honor our feature artists this month. My name is Emma Wilson. I'm joined with Kevin Thomas and Sean Thomas and Jess Brayboy. We're just so excited to have you here for the July opening. This month's feature artists are, and Paige, are you ready for your job? This month's feature artists are Holly L. Smith. So a few thank yous. Thank you to Abby, who continues to nourish us. Thank you to Emma, who is filling us in for us at the wine bar, or whatever you want to call it, the bar. Thank you to our artists who continue to inspire us, and thank you to our clients who continue to support the arts. So July, what a month of gratitude. I just spent the last weekend surrounded by my family, celebrating my mom's 90th birthday and my niece's engagement. And then there were graduations to celebrate and other people's birthdays and my aunt's recovery from surgery, and there was so much to cheer for. It's just, when you're in that, it's impossible not to feel hopeful, to feel connected, and to feel joyful. And that's the same way that we feel about art. So with that, I'm going to start introducing Holly Smith. All right, so Holly. We know that summer has arrived when Holly and Stu come right up the highway from Florida. We're so excited. She has devoted her life to art, both as an artist and as an educator, with over 31 years of teaching experience. You must have been the best teacher, Holly. I can only imagine, and we still see that you passing that joy on to your grandchildren. A dedicated studio and plein air painter, Holly captures Maine's natural beauty exquisitely. Please welcome artist Holly Smith.
Hi everyone, I'm Holly Smith, and thank you so much for coming tonight. It's just great to see you all. Thank you. 5'1.5". I want to thank the gallery for having me as a featured artist, along with Deetlin and Brian, and my goodness, and help me, Liz. Oh, you can tell I'm nervous. I have rehearsed. I have been a part of the gallery now for since 2015, and I just love being here, and the gallery has done such a wonderful job promoting all these very, very talented artists. So thank you for coming. I'm thrilled tonight because I have two granddaughters all the way from Miami visiting. So that's really proud of you for coming as well. As an artist, I just love painting. In fact, it's something that I do. I paint every day if I can. And if not, I'm out in the field. I'm always observing. I'm always sketching. I'm always thinking of new things that I could do. And what I'm often trying to capture are those small moments when you're driving along or you're standing there and you just see Maine and all its magic. And you just stop and you go, oh my, this is beautiful. But the only thing is, it only lasts for just a very short while. And so I try to get it down as quickly as I can. When I'm plein air painting, I know I can only paint for so many hours, and because you cannot follow the light, you have to capture the light in that moment, and then you put it away and you start a new one for the afternoon. So what I do is I usually take those studies along with my sketches and photos, and I do come back to my studio and do a lot of painting there as well. I do an adult ed watercolor class. I've been an educator, as I said, for 31 years, and I just love inspiring others and giving them confidence in what they can do. You all could be an artist, believe it or not. So thank you very much for coming, and I hope you enjoy the show and our way down here. Thank you.
So now I'd like to introduce artist Brian Emerson. Brian has always been driven to explore, sketch, and paint the world around him. In the mid-90s, he moved to Maine, where he met his fabulous wife, Colleen Barter, daughter of beloved Maine artist Philip Barter. Working alongside Philip on large installations and watching him in the studio, Brian developed his own distinct style. This newest collection of paintings of Maine's familiar places make us see the everyday world with fresh eyes, especially that Portland Art Gallery. Please welcome artist Brian Everson.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys for coming out and supporting the arts on a Thursday night for sure. I was just looking around the audience and I see so many familiar and friendly faces out there. It's so awesome. I know I got family from New Hampshire. I saw a lot from Massachusetts I didn't expect. So thank you guys for putting the miles in and supporting us in the arts. My dentist is here. Come on, Dr. You don't feel it. I don't really got it. It's crazy. All right. Anyways, my name is Brian Thane Emerson. I live right here in Portland, and I draw my inspiration from what's around me, nature primarily. So a lot of landscapes and seascapes, backyardscapes, cityscapes, and also other artists, how they interpret the world around them. That is a huge inspiration for me. So keep up what you're doing. I draw energy from it. So thank you very much for that. I wanted to say, I don't always see these shows in their entirety before opening night like tonight, but this time I did. I came in last week when the gallery was quiet and a lot hotter. You guys fixed the air conditioning, thank you very much. A lot better tonight. And I went one by one around, and I determined it's a really solid show. I'm very happy to be part of tonight's show. Dietland with her abstracts. I love your color palette, Dietland, and also Holly, your landscapes, your perspective is always awesome. And Liz, whirly twirly water, wild, like nature. As part of my contribution tonight to the July show, I kind of stopped for a minute back 6 months ago, and I tried to think about what I wanted to do. I wanted to have a cohesive, themed kind of story, a show that told a story anyway. And I picked my hometown, Portland, Maine, and started, I've been here, I guess, we moved here in '99, like you said, and I've had a good chance that it's a quarter century later. I know some Mainers will never accept me as a Mainer, but from Maine. But it's a great city. You can fall in love with it so easily. It's got water and parks and beaches and lighthouses and food, and somehow you can be to a country setting in 15 minutes. So it's a great city. It's easy to paint, lots of inspiration. And over the last 6 months, I've been sketching it, developing small paintings, and the paintings you see here on the walls. So I feel like I did tell my Portland, Maine story, and as we're mingling about later on, feel free to tap me on the shoulder. I'm a little chatty, so I'm willing to talk about stuff. I've already heard a bunch of stories that I didn't know. I guess there used to be a karate sign on top of Material Objects over there back in the day, so I'll tell you, Ted knows that story. So anyway, come tell me some stories, and we'll talk later on. Thank you to Portland Art Gallery. These are always great. You guys cater well, and curate the show is awesome, so thank you. Microphone's yours again.
All right, now I'd like to introduce artist Liz Prescott. For over 20 years, Liz has been making art in her Freeport, Maine studio. She holds her BFA from the Maine College of Art and her MFA from the Vermont College of Fine Arts. Her work overflows with color and movement, reflection, and that ever-present beauty of Maine. Liz teaches plein air in Europe, including Croatia and Portugal, and hopefully Spain on the horizon. She finds that teaching outside complements her in-studio work. Please welcome artist Liz Prescott.
Hello. Thank you, Emma. I'm thrilled to be here. I have been at the gallery, I think, almost 2 years now, and it's just been a pleasure. Paige, the artist Paige O'Rourke, is the one who connected me. So I thank you for coming out. I do have a few notes because I get very nervous. I'd like to share things that I think of when I'm in the studio. And a teacher said to me when I was first starting to paint that painting is about 60% looking, which I was floored. I just couldn't even believe it. And to me, that's about slowing down. And anybody who knows me knows that that's not an easy task for me. And it's been a long process. And the more I've learned to do that, it's like allowing paintings to unfold makes them much richer and deeper. So this is the first time I painted really large. And I'm just letting the inspiration of nature just take me where it goes. And I think taking time is so important. So I like, yeah, the feeling is really what I'm going for rather than spelling things out. Although I love realism, I myself get really excited when what happens if I just pull red right down through this water? And someone came in and said, I hope that's not blood, you know? I'm like, I don't think so, but. So some painting notes, take risks, be curious, and I love this idea of like being more curious than afraid. So you're gonna make mistakes, and that's okay. I mean, it applies to life too. So painting is so much about our own inner experiences, and then it's even more wonderful when people relate to it and connect. So it's really about journey. So yeah, it's about being, I think, even more than doing. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. And now I'd like to introduce artist Dietlyn van der Skaaf. All right, we're going to say, and actually Lisa has a couple of things to say as well, right? Still?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So Dietlyn holds her MFA from the University of San Francisco and an MA from the University of Southern Maine. She's a core instructor for R&F Handmade Paints and the former president of New England Wax. She continues to teach around the world, and it's not uncommon for her students to come rushing in here to see her work in the gallery. Dietlyn's art invites us to breathe, restore our energy, and always to see the light within. Dr. Lisa Pelayo, who just interviewed somebody recently, has a story she'd like to share now, and then we'll hear from Dietlyn. How's that sound?
So one of the things that I love about coming to the gallery events, and since Brian, you already tried to move this up, so I'm going to awkwardly just pretend that this all works really well, is that I get to meet people that I've either interviewed before for Radio Maine, or are going to be future guests for Radio Maine, or maybe have heard of Radio Maine or haven't heard of Radio Maine. So first I want to start by just saying, Billy Jack, who I just met, who works with a nonprofit, and you're in the social work world, I'm hoping you will come on Radio Maine, because I really want to be able to share your larger story with the world. And I'm really hoping that by embarrassing you totally in this way, people will actually introduce themselves to you and say, Billy Jack, what's your story? I want to know about it.
They're not going to introduce themselves to you.
But I know for anybody who doesn't want to have a call out here, like Carla Brennan, who's already been on Radio Maine, like, feel free to avoid me, I understand. But it's important because Billy Jack, who actually can tell the story of Portland Art Gallery almost as well, I think, as Emma, he was telling me about how wonderful the art is, and he was telling me about how wonderful the artists are, and in particular, he wanted to talk about Dietlyn. He said, I love her work, I would like to know this person, I would like to connect with this person. And this is why I thought it was important to share a story that I learned just yesterday from Ginny Hussey, who is the general manager over at the Portland Canopy Waterfront. And it has to do with Dietlyn. Dietlyn apparently had pieces over at the Crest Hotel, which is just down the street. And Ginny loved them so much that when the Portland Canopy Waterfront opened, she said, I want to bring a piece of that into my home, and that piece is Dietlyn. So what I love about these stories is that when you are connecting with Holly's work, with Lizzie's work, when you're connecting with Brian's work, you're also connecting with yourselves, with your own stories, and you're actually bringing a piece of them into your home, and it becomes your story. So there's so much more I could say about these wonderful artists, but I don't think I could even say more wonderful things, in particular about Dietlyn, just because I've adored her for so long, and so many people do. And it's such a great group that you're with, because you are among the largest hearts of the Portland Art Gallery. And thank you for showing your work and for sharing your story with me repeatedly over the years.
Now I'm like super emotional. I just want to say thank you to all my family and friends that are here tonight. It really means a lot. So many of us that are artists, that are creatives, we work alone in our studios. We spend a lot of time making work, struggling with making work, painting over pieces, wondering if it's any good, questioning ourselves. And you know, there are moments where somebody else comes into your space and sees what you're working on and validates it in a way that you really need. So whether that's through somebody who takes home a piece of your art or through somebody that comes into your studio, like I had this experience this spring. I got to have a woman who's purchased pieces from this gallery before who came into my studio, and she saw a piece very similar to the piece that's under my name over here, and she said, I love that piece so much I want to take it home. And it meant so much to me because it was a new kind of work that I hadn't done before. It was me letting myself be more vulnerable, more raw, like letting my work be a little bit less finished, not resolving it quite as much. And I wasn't ready to show it to anyone. But it meant so much to have somebody come into my space and validate that and say, that's good. And so, you know, all of you coming out tonight, whether you know another artist and you're here to support them, I mean, this means so much to the artists themselves. It's almost like I was saying to my partner this morning, it's almost like it's my birthday. You know, like I'm having a party, but I didn't have to organize it. So I'll just say just a few things about my work. If you're interested, you're welcome to come up and talk to me. I work with encaustic. It's a kind of pigmented beeswax, so it's really different than traditional paint. I work on a heated palette. My brushes are a Hake brush. It's a natural bristle brush. And then I'm fusing everything with a torch. So, like, for example, the painting that's over here that's under my name, it's built up in, all of them are built up through many, many layers of wax with gold leaf, with different forms of mixed media, so graphite, there's oil paint in there, all kinds of things. The meaning of the work is really about slowing down, which is actually something that Liz talked about, which Holly kind of talked about, which Ryan kind of talked about. In many ways, what we're trying to get you to do with our art, and this might be true of all of the artists that are here, is to get you to look at something with fresh eyes and to say, do you see what you're looking at? And does it mean something for you? Recently, I bought a piece of art by another artist I admire, and when I brought that into my home, it meant so much to me because I knew this artist, I knew how much work they had put into it, but I also knew what the work was about, and I connected to it. And so bringing that into my home meant the world to me. So I hope that each of you are here tonight are able to enjoy this work. Please come talk to any of us. We love to talk about our work. We don't want to take you for too long right now, so come talk to us afterwards, and thank you for coming.
Are interested in having any of these pieces to become a part of your story alone, please come and find myself or Kevin or Sean. We are happy to help you. And meanwhile, enjoy your evening, and thanks again for being here.